Hey guys, what is up? Rainmage here, doing another Gears of War 3 gameplay commentary. Today guys, this is King of the Hill on Blood Drive. I went ahead and cut down the length of this gameplay simply because it was just very long. So if you're wondering why this match is starting in the middle, that's why. This was a 46 kill gameplay. You don't get to see all of it, of course, obviously, but I had to cut down the length somehow just to shorten things up because nobody wants to hear my ass talk for 30 minutes. Nobody. Anyways, I went ahead and cut down the length just to shorten things down. This prick, he just tagged me with a grenade. That never ceases to annoy me still, and he got a teabag, so he deserved it. Bastard. Anyways, today guys, I'm going to go ahead and I want to keep up with some of the current events going on around Gears. About a week, 2 weeks ago, there was a leak. I guess for E3 2014, it wasn't an announcement, but it was a leak that Gears of War Lazarus, there was going to be a CGI trailer, and it was just a teaser, just to show where the franchise was going and such. Possibly where it was going and all that jazz and stuff. Now, I don't know if that Gears of War Lazarus is the working name to this game, or if that is the finished name. That is the name they're sticking to. But for the time being, we'll just call it Gears Lazarus. Now, I'm going to go ahead and talk about something you haven't heard me talk about a whole lot lately. You've heard a few people talk about this, but most people have been focused on the multiplayer, which rightfully so. That's what everybody really loves, the multiplayer. But I wanted to talk about something that you haven't heard me talk about a whole lot, and that was the single-player campaign. I know some people are rolling their eyes saying, "Oh, fuck single-player. Nobody fucking plays it." Let's face it, it was kind of fun. I enjoyed. I'd have to say, if I have to pick campaigns from any game that I've enjoyed the most, it would have to definitely be games from the campaigns from the Gears series. I mean, they are just so much more entertaining. I've always found them amazingly fun, and I'm sure Gears Lazarus will maybe deliver. We'll see. But I wanted to talk about the campaign, and I've seen a lot of people, and anytime I've ever heard anybody talk about a future Gears game and they talk about campaign or single player, they've always, I guess everybody's been set on the idea that the game has to take place after Gears 4, or after Gears 3, I'm sorry. The game must take place there. It has to take place there. I kind of take a different view. I'm not saying let's do a prequel. We've already seen that in Judgment. You know, it's just kind of cliche-ish, I guess. I mean, we've seen prequels. I mean, almost any big-time movie franchise, you will almost always see a prequel at some point in time. And I just would prefer Lazarus not to go that route, assuming this is the actual name of it. But like I said, we're just going to call it Gears Lazarus. If there is another Gears, if the next Gears of War is to do anything with single player, I would like to see it do something a little bit different. Instead of going with a straight-up prequel with previous characters from the game, why not do something a little bit differently? You have to keep in mind, Emergence Day all the way to Gal 3 was a 17-year-long conflict from big start to finish. And there is a lot more to Gears of War than Marcus, Baird, Cole, and Dominic. There is so much more to offer. Now, I'm not saying let's have them fight. Let's go with a completely new cast. Is what I'm saying. You know, if you absolutely have to, let's go ahead and have maybe a cameo from Marcus. I mean, Marcus had a cameo in Judgment. You heard him over a headset or something. I think when Baird was launching the rocket, I think it was from Halvo Bay. I can't recall off the top of my head. I'm just my mind is drawing a blank from Judgment. But anyways, you do hear him in there, and it was his cameo appearance basically. But what I'm thinking is, I mean, if you absolutely have to do that, you could do that. But I would prefer to see Black Tusk go ahead and say, you know, we have such a wide you have such a wide diversity of characters. It was a planet-wide conflict. It wasn't just a fight the coalition of ordered government had to fight. It was a conflict that the UIR fought. You know, this is Paddock's people basically had to fight. And what I'm getting at is they could go with, you know, UIR characters. They could go with other COG characters. It was a large conflict. It was a fight that raged for 17 years. There's so much more you can work with. plenty of content can be had. It can be a side story. You could always cover the events from Gears 1 to Gears 2. You could always cover the events of Gears 2 to 3, or even fight as a basic, cog soldier, going on the beaches on Gears 3 at the very end, fighting in that. That would have been entertaining to see. There's a lot more to work with, going with a side story. You see it commonly, just to give people an example, if you're a Mobile Suit Gundam fan like I am, you see that in that series so often. They will do side stories. They may not do, historical or, really popular characters. They'll go with a completely new character, and you might see the events just happen to that character through their perspective, rather than them being the guy that has everything unfold. That was argued. Some people have argued that even for the Mass Effect series. Let's go with a side story. It doesn't necessarily have to take place after the third final game. It can always take place during the events, just with a different character. And I personally prefer this, not because I don't want to see Gears, the Gears storyline progress, but I thought the ending to Gears 3 was more final, more fitting to end everything at the point in time. And I know some have made the argument of, well, you can always say that the Locusts survived, the events at the end of Gears 3, because they did survive the light mass bomb. The light mass bomb was supposed to kill them at the end of Gears 1, yet they survived. They were also supposed to be completely crippled by the end of Gears 2 because of the sinking of Jacinto on top of all their asses. And they put up a hell of a fight in Gears 3. Granted, they were not full strength, but they were around. So some would argue, well, maybe you can make an argument that they survived at the end of Gears 3. I just would prefer it to end there. Just leave it be. Maybe somewhere down the line, you could always do the mental gymnastics later to say, oh, the Locusts survived somehow. I would just prefer to say that the franchise ended there. Let the damn main story in there. You can always do the mental gymnastics later. Go with something that works. And some have argued, let's go ahead and ignore the Locusts altogether. Let's do a Pendulum Wars game. I mean, I like the idea. I wouldn't mind. I would love to see the different people that you see on the planet Sarah. It was more than just Coalition of Order Government. You had Grozny. You had various groups of people that Sarah had, and I wouldn't mind seeing it. But I think of a Gears game, I think of Locusts. I mean, I was one of those people that was very disappointed when I heard Judgment wasn't going to have Locusts. So, I just feel like if you're going to do Gears, you got to have Locusts, and you got to have them in there fighting them. You can't make it Coalition of Order Government versus UIR. I don't know. Maybe that's something they can consider for another game, but I just feel like if I'm going to do a Gears game, I want to see Locusts versus humans. Just makes more sense. My other thought on this is oh my god, I missed that so horribly. Another thought on this is, and I'm sort of cautiously, I guess optimistic, if you will. Microsoft got the rights to Gears January 27th. Here we are, literally 4 or 5 months later, and we're now hearing about a CGI trailer. Granted, it is a teaser, but I worry it's too early. I worry we're about to get Judgment 2.0. We'll see, though. Hopefully it won't be rushed. Hopefully the game will be outstanding. Alright, guys. This gameplay's coming to an end. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out. If you are subbed because of World of Tanks content, don't worry. I am going to do another video in the next 2 or 3 days, continuing my series on there. Alright, guys. Catch you guys later. Peace out.